Hey y'all, just wanted to share a little bit how I keep up with our homeschooling. Um, Everybody has their own way to do it. I don't necessarily think there's a right way or wrong way to do it. This just happens to be the way I do it. Um, it's basically how I've always done it, even when my girls were little. So what I do is this binder here, not a big one. I've used this one since day one. I think I got this at the Dollar Tree actually, so $1. And what I did was I got just the loose leaf paper and sectioned it off. You buy these little things in a packet. I don't know how many come in it, I can't even remember. But I separated into the different subjects that we're doing at the time, and so on and so forth. This right here is just an old paper actually to help beginning writers learn how to hold the pencil and to do letters and stuff. But that's a different video. So the first thing I usually do is I make out the schedule for the year. I have from the beginning date to the last day of school, and then everything in between. Obviously, the breaks I've wrote down. As you can see, we don't have any official breaks because I know there's going to be times throughout the year that if somebody gets sick or if we have to take off a day or two to go do something, that's why we don't have very many official breaks. So I do that, and again, there's no right or wrong way. You can choose what days you want to school. I know when my girls were little, we did Tuesday through Friday, and usually had a field trip on Friday. But you can do what you want. You can kind of stick to what the public school does, go along with them, or you can just have your own completely. I knew people that back in the day, they actually did like 2 weeks on and 2 weeks off. Now, to me, that doesn't seem good, just because they need to they need to keep at it, for lack of a better way of explaining it. But anyway, that to each their own. I wrote down some goals by the end of the year that I want to have accomplished. And then I start each day what we did that particular day. Now, in Oklahoma, you don't have to keep up with this kind of thing. This is just for me, for my own self. And it's something he'll always be able to go back and look at. But you don't have to in Oklahoma. I don't know about any other state, what their rules and regulations are. I just know about Oklahoma, and we are not required to do any of this. This is just what I like to do. I'm a list maker. I make lists. So I just write down what we're doing or what we did that day, and that'll fill up, these pages. And I also I have a planner, which I like planners. I just really like planners. This one is very old. This is from 2016, 2017. However, I still use it. It came with stickers. I think I paid $4 for this at the Dollar General. And I used it during that time, and then when I was done with it, I still had blank pages because I for whatever reason, I just didn't use all the pages up. So what I've done was I went through and found, like for September, hang on a second, let me get this out. For September, I went and found whatever day it was, like, let's see if I can explain this without tripping all over myself. Like today's the 25th. So Sunday the 25th, I went and found in here the days that matched up. Obviously, it wasn't the correct month, but what I did was I just marked it out and wrote in September, seeing how that's where we're at. So I kept little notes. This is for like a quick review, if you will, on what I want to do. Sometimes I make notes, like for grocery shopping, notes to myself what I need to do, what I want to do. This was last week, so like for next week, he asked me if we could make brownies next week. So we're going to make some candy and brownies. We're going to start in with our maps, and we're going to finish out the season of summer and go into fall, because I think it was the 22nd that was the first day of fall. So these are just more, nothing that I have to do, but it's something that I enjoy doing, actually. It's kind of like making lists. I don't know, I've always been a list maker. This handy little pocket here, I keep because what I do is I rip these out, and then I cut the perforated thing off here, and then I'll just put it in this folder, or this pocket here, and then I have them. I also keep stickers, like I said, for when he does something good, I let him pick a sticker and put on it. But and then I got this planner for current calendar, being that, and it does come with stickers too, which are just adorable. It is definitely a weakness of mine, buying planners and stickers. I have a whole tote. It's about twice the size of a normal shoebox, a little more than twice deep. But he gets to, in learning about the calendar and whatnot, he gets to mark out the days, and it's just helping him learn. And of course, our memory verse was Psalm 90:12 for the month of September, which is, "So teach us to number our days, that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom." So just something that we do. And then on these, each week there's 4 weeks in between the months. So that's going to be October. And then you have these, and then it's just, these are where I write my goals. Like before I got this one, I was using the pages out of there, like I said, and I'll probably actually continue to do both. It's just, just showing you what I do. I think it's good for these kind of things because it gives you ideas. I watch things and have in the past, and sometimes I do exactly what somebody shows me. Sometimes it just gives me an idea for something else. And, nothing wrong with that. So I do that, and then I have a folder here. We bought a big old package, or box, I guess, of these folders. I can't set that down right now. And so these are the daily things, like his scripture that we do every month. Every month I have a different memory verse. So every day we do that. He doesn't really like to color, so if he wants to color, I let him, but I don't make him. this is what happens when he's made to color. He draws a picture instead. He's always done that. And then he has his worksheet, there you are, of where he writes his name every day. Another memory verse with a clock on it, seeing how we're doing time as one of our unit studies. And then his alphabet that he does every day. So I have a folder for daily work, and then I also have a folder like this that has worksheets for future. Try to see if I can't get it here. For future work. We're in the process of making a booklet on the seasons, and I wasn't able to print off a big enough wind, so I'm having to make this work. But anyway, color pages, which again, he doesn't really like to color, but every now and again I get him to. And this page right here is also for the unit study of the seasons. The little booklet that we're making, he was so excited when I told him we were doing that, especially when he found out he got to be the one stapling. Also, we had this one didn't come out very well, but I saved pieces of paper like this for scratch paper for him to draw on the back, or for me taking my own notes, just whatever. I try very, very hard not to waste anything. Anyway, so I found a printout with a little boy and with different clothes for summer, winter, so on, and then he can change it. And he liked that a lot. And it, every little thing like that teaches them. But as far as unit studies, I wanted to talk a little bit about that. Unit studies are, it's a subject that you pick, or the child can pick, and they learn about that particular subject for a certain amount of time. It can be for 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, just however long it takes you to learn about it. When you feel like you've exhausted the subject, then you can quit. But like right now, our unit studies are the seasons and Oklahoma and the calendar. Like for the seasons here, this is one of the pages, part of him learning. He's going to have to cut this out. This is actually going to be the first page of the book that we're making. So that's part of our unit study for the seasons. We've got several pages that I've printed out from the computer, and you can just go to free printout pages for, whatever. Free printout pages for Easter, free printout pages for Christmas, and so on and so forth. And it gives you a bunch of options. Now for our Oklahoma unit study, I printed out the United States, of course, and you talk about whatever. For example, for Oklahoma, we live in the country, we live in the state, we live in the city, the county, and you can just go as far with that as you want to. So it's really exciting. He seems to enjoy himself. Also, we are looking up the state symbols. So the state flower, the state bird, the state rock even. So all these different things Our, of course, this is back for the calendar unit study, but all these things are learning tools. You can absolutely homeschool without curriculum. If I am able to create my own curriculum, I promise you, anybody can. I do not have any kind of college education. I barely have a high school education. But things that I run into that I don't know, well, I go find out. You know, as bad as I think the internet is, most of the time, there is some helpful information out there. So you just have to kind of look for it. So again, here's my binder that I keep all of it in. And like I said, I've used this since 2000, and I refill it every year. Or if I don't have enough, obviously, I just put more in. This is my scratch paper up here, because I'm cheap and I don't waste nothing, or I try not to waste anything. And then I have, it's a big inside joke that my recliner here is my desk, my office. So I have right beside me, I have all the folders and whatnot of the work that he's done or that I have for him to do. The next thing we're going to be starting on is maps, which kind of goes along with our Oklahoma unit study. But I've drawn out a map of our neighborhood. Didn't do it real great, but I can't draw worth a flip, so, I did what I had to. Did the best I could. Also, he'll get this clipboard, which is the legal document size. But they have them clipboards at the dollar store for $1. He likes to sit in front of me with this. Sometimes we put one of the like TV tray type tables, put it right in front of me, and he likes to work like that. Sometimes he takes that clipboard over to the stairs over there, and he sits there and he does his work there. And sometimes he sits at his desk, which he does have a desk in here. But it's just, try not to be bothered too much about people telling you how to do it, because everybody's different. That's why I say we unschool, because there's no set way that is right or wrong. What may work for me will not work for you, and vice versa. So try not to let anybody else hinder you, mainly, but don't let them discourage you by saying, well, you should do it this way or you should do it that way. Not necessarily. As long as your child is learning, actively growing with their education, I just don't see how anybody could say such a thing. But this is just how I keep up with it. This is what we do. Thought it might be helpful for some. Let me know what you think. Leave me a comment. I would appreciate it. And a like, a thumbs up. Thanks, y'all. See you next time.